I actually want to ask you a question about two people, because right now what's happening in America is the MAGA party is actually infighting. The Groypers have declared war on the MAGA party, but on top of the Groypers, people have spoken out, myself included, to say that obviously you survive an assassination attempt, you're going to come out of it different, you know? And so I wanted to give Trump that runway and expect that, like, you got to be feeling a little bit differently. But it doesn't feel to me like the same Trump from 2015. And obviously he's the better candidate. I want Trump to win as well. But it does seem that now that he's accepted money, that he can't be as hardcore about certain topics and certain issues as he was back in 2015 when there was no chance he was going to win. You know, allegedly no chance he was going to win, and also nobody would give him money and no one would give him any airtime. And now it feels like, I don't know, like they've kind of, I don't want to say like buck broken him, but there's definitely a lot of consultants around money kind of always being the root of lies and evil, and I believe lies by omission, not saying things that you would say because, oh, well, this person just cut you a $50 million check. So I maybe stay away from that subject because that person is, you know, from Romania and these are the Romanian interests. So, you know,
good country choice there.
Yeah, it's a great country choice. Yeah,
smart. I'm a fan of Trump. Obviously, I hope he wins. My view on it, if I had to guess, and of course I have no data to back this up, I've just been around. Trump ran with a scorched earth policy, and he got into power, and they tried the whole Russiagate garbage. And I think Trump actually, in many ways, was very soft in his first administration, and he believed to a degree he could reason with these savages, and he thought that, you know, I should put Hillary in jail. I should do these things, but they'll take Trump Tower off me and they'll hit me with endless lawfare and it's going to be a mess. And I built this whole conglomerate of real estate and money and I'm still American and my kids live here. And if you really declare war with the deep state on that level, my children are going to end up in trouble. And there's a whole bunch to consider. So he tried to be nice to them. And then he realized that doesn't work because they rigged the election. When he left, they rigged the election. They keep hitting him with lawfare to try and stop him being president again. And I think there was part of his mind that said, you know what? I'm really going to get back into administration and teach these guys a lesson. And then I think something happened. Someone came along at some point, and I think perhaps that deal was done. And they said, look, you won't go to jail. Trump Tower will stay standing. Your kids will be safe in America. Everything's going to be okay. But you're going to have to bend on these few things. And I think that Napoleon said it, fatigue makes cowards of us all. And he's certainly no coward. But it's amazing how daily war can grind you down. I can talk from personal experience. After 3 years of every single day you're fighting, and that's what they do. They know that you're too powerful a person to take out with one hit, so it's like hyenas on a lion, you know, and they just bite. If I had to guess, I'm still praying for a Trump victory. I still think he's going to be the best president. I still think he's going to do his very best. I just feel like somewhere along the line, something has been agreed to prevent post-presidency or post-death for his empire and for his children. There seems to be some kind of deal somewhere. Again, I have no data on this. I've just been around. I feel like, and you look at the streets, let's talk about the streets, right? And the gangs, and they're out and they're all killing each other. And then eventually you see one gang member walk past another gang member and they don't kill each other. And you're like, something's been talked about now. It was different before. And it just kind of feels that way to me. I don't know exactly what the deal is. I'm not even going to say that I blame the guy for taking it, but some kind of agreement's been made, I feel like.
I feel the same, and I'm wondering if you do as well. Elon Musk seems a little bit different too. And I will admit, I was kind of all in on Elon Musk. Like I really thought, and I still give him tons of credit, but he has fought a war that few people will ever understand really what he went through to really rescue speech at a moment where it was going to be the darkening. It was over. If they had gotten Twitter, it would have been done. And we saw what was happening, obviously, with all the COVID stuff, taking videos down of people talking about their own experiences with the shot. And then Elon Musk rescued Twitter and he went to war with that. I mean, you remember him on stage screaming at I think it was Bob Iger of Disney and saying, you're not going to blackmail me and do all of these things. And now it seems, and I don't want to say that he's been blackmailed at all, but I just feel like it's a different Elon. And it could be what you're speaking about. Day in and day out, there is going to be some sort of a fatigue that manifests of having to fight people with a tremendous amount of power who do not let up one single day.
Oh, they never let up. And you have to choose your enemies, right? And sometimes you have to do a deal with people who you perhaps don't even always want to do a deal with to survive. It's difficult at the very, very top. We're talking about the highest possible echelons of power. And there's a lot of different interests coming your way. And you have to sit there and go, can I really war all of them? Or can I just ally with this one team? Which is unfortunate because people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. It seems to be the same team every time. If I can just ally with this one team, I'm good against everything else.
Right.
And then people sitting in a position and they're like, yeah, I guess, I mean, I want to live and I want my children to live. And because it comes down to that. I don't think many people realize how violent the world is. We live in a world now where we have all of these facades on top of violence. But really, the world is just guns and bullets and violence. That's the reality of the world. When we talk about something like a court case, what is a court case? Well, a court case is a piece of paper. But if there was no threat of violence behind it, I wouldn't go, or no one would go, right? You get a speeding ticket. You don't pay the ticket. They add more money. You don't pay it. They say go to court. You don't go. They send another summons. You don't go. They send an officer. He says come to court. You say no. Violence. It's all just garbage on top of violence. And at the highest echelons of power, what they normally do is they skip all the garbage first. They'll sit down and say, look, you can do whatever and you can be Mr. Smartass, but it doesn't matter how much money you have or how powerful you believe you are. Bullets kill people and you have children and they're going to die. And I've been around. Now, let's talk about this professionally. If I know drug gangs who do that over control of a street corner, you're telling me they're not going to do that for control of the largest economies on the planet? You're telling me there's not going to be a single conversation about the fact that your children are walking the street for the largest economies on the planet? It's a very scary world these men live in. And I feel like they've had to do a deal with certain interests to survive, unfortunately. And it kind of feels that way and it's scary. And then you end up looking at your own position and you're like, okay, well, I do run my mouth a lot. But having a political view and having actual power are different things. These people have actual power to press buttons. And those are the ones they have to keep their finger on. So it's I don't want to say anything bad about Elon. I really agree with you. He truly saved the world.